Thank you for clicking on this video. This is The Bread Show. Hope you like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get straight to it. Hope you enjoy. Yes, the game over screen. The screen that gamers know all too well. What's supposed to be a blatant resemblance of your failures, gamers take that as a learning experience and try to get back as fast as they can to whatever bested them the last time. How many times have you gotten a game over screen and just left there? How many times do you say, oh, one last game because I can't go out on a loss? That's gamer instinct right there, baby. Difficulty and loss, while mildly infuriating, is oddly important to the gaming community. One could argue that difficulty is kind of what separates a game from a movie or some, like a book or something. Difficulty is what gets the gamer locked in. Ain't nothing like being on an online game or fighting a boss and you feel yourself get real quiet, you lean forward in your chair, you clutch your controller as you tee up while you prepare every hand-eye coordination muscle and neuron in your body. And I know you're thinking about that one game that makes you feel exactly that. Now, a pretty popular topic going around is the fact that games are getting too easy nowadays. And I feel like one of the main areas of where they are getting too easy is RPGs. RPGs back in the early 2000s, from Final Fantasy to Chrono Trigger to Pokemon, you had to grind really hard to get anywhere, to get anything. And yes, Pokemon is a game for kids, so eventually it would become easier because, you know, you're a big brain adult now. But there's certain aspect about that game and other games like it that make it totally different. For example, the distribution of XP in Pokemon. I'm gonna use Pokemon as an example because I play a lot of Pokemon. The new games brought back the XP All from Gen 1. XP All actually was in Gen 1, but there's a huge caveat and it works totally differently. The XP All in Gen 1, you had to catch a certain amount of Pokemon, which was a pretty good amount if I remember, and then it would distribute the same amount of XP and just divide it up. So really it was just a useless item that gave every one of your Pokemon infinitesimal amount of EXP. So you had to play the game for the mechanics and grind for something that really didn't have that much reward in the end. Now, in the newer games, without doing anything, you're given the XP All fully functioning, which means it doesn't divide up the number of EXP from the one it multiplies it and gives it to every one of your Pokemon. The XP All has pros and cons. It did really two things. It changed the way Pokemon was played. Instead of having a more linear team that you build up from the beginning of the game to get to the end of the game, now the game really does encourage you to switch out your team more anime style and catch more Pokemon and choose more Pokemon to be on your team. Basically, there's nothing stopping you from having a rotating team of 6 throughout the whole game, which fits for a game with more Pokemon in it. On the flip side, Pokemon is not challenging at all anymore. Pokemon used to be like every other RPG back in the day. Final Fantasy VII probably did take you 50 hours to play. Pokemon, again, probably took you 20 hours to play as a kid. And also the newer Pokemon games give out free Pokemon more often, and they give out free Pokemon that are like the same level as the Pokemon you have at that moment in time. Pokemon X, you could literally make a team full of Pokemon that was given to you. So yeah, you experience more of the Pokemon game, one, yes, but at the same time, that difficulty, that grind that was in the original RPG just isn't there anymore. And grinding is what makes up 75% of RPGs. All that to say, Square Enix Final Fantasy XVI is nixing difficulty in that game. There will be a base difficulty similar to other games, and then there will be certain items that can make the game a lot easier, but they are optional, but will be made available. Difficulty to me is important. I like a difficult experience, and to be honest with you, it's not that much of an issue, but I do want to look into how the Final Fantasy team decided to handle this difficulty swing. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, this system of using rings and different items to lower the difficulty of the game and having just a base difficulty in the regular game is kind of similar to the Devil May Cry series. And you'd be right, because the combat director is the same combat director in Devil May Cry as it is in Final Fantasy XVI. The game is set to come out of June 22nd of 2023. It's one of the most anticipated games of 2023 because it's coming from a popular studio and also coming into a popular franchise. And media, not me unfortunately, was able to playtest it. Now all of these rings have different mechanics and they do different things. Some may slow down time to give you more of a reaction time. Some may automatically dodge all of attacks. So from what I gather, there's 5 rings and you only be able to attach 2. But if you somehow broke the game and have found a way to attach 5, you really wouldn't have to do anything because The rings are just that OP. Being able to automatically dodge attacks or slow down time itself, they seem like pretty big buffs, especially for a game that's on the 16th increment of its franchise. But the reason why this isn't as big of a deal is because we understand that the rings aren't the biggest change that this franchise or this studio has ever introduced to Final Fantasy. As a matter of fact, I think that's the second reason why the rings are even there, with the first being obvious is accessibility, and rightfully so. But the second reason why they're there is because the game has changed so much. It was a 2D Game Boy adventure, then it changed to a 3D story-driven experience, then it changed to a 3D action adventure story-driven experience that totally changed the genre as it was even in. The rings make the game easier and more accessible, and rightfully so. For those who need the accessibility options, I know that dodging attacks and everything like that and slowing down time is a big buff that would make the game accessible to more players. But for gamers looking for a more difficult experience, it provides a challenge with going with a no-ring run. A no-ring run. We all know that the ring mechanic is so much different than other games' difficulty mechanics, and this ring mechanic is probably better. We look at Bedrock Minecraft's hard mode. All they do is take the regular aspects of hard mode and spawn mobs infinitely. Like, you will be walking at nighttime and like a pile of zombies will just appear out of thin air, out of nowhere, and you're screwed. 2K, yes, NBA 2K. The way that they increase the difficulty of their game is with the sliders. If you've ever played 2K in Hall of Fame, your players will run out of breath really fast, and it's impossible to make a 3-point in that game, which takes out half of the game of basketball. And then Forspoken, they just increase the health bar of all of the enemies. By definition, yes, all of these things do make the game harder, but they also make it way more frustrating. And I just think of it as a cheap way out. It lulls the gameplay, drags it on for forever, and muddies the whole experience because it's just so frustrating to play. Companies like Nintendo used to make harder games, but they took down the difficulty level really to appeal to a broader audience, like children. And some of their best titles that are side-scrollers or RPGs feel that the most. Pokemon, Mario, Kirby. Some of the more thrilling hard modes we've seen is the hard mode in Hardcore Minecraft, or God of War, or Nightmare mode in Doom. They mix things like limited amount of saves, or maybe just one life the whole game, or they boost the stats of the enemy instead of just changing the sliders. These hard modes have way more thought put into them. Instead of taking away a part of the game like 2K and the 3, God of War decided to boost the stats of the enemy and also increase their resilience to ranged attacks, which influences you to get up close and personal with the battle system. They also had increased chances of gaining a level if you just let them be, and a level gain in that game, it means a lot. As a matter of fact, I finished the game on like level 9. A few games strip you of all choice and inherently give you a punishing experience, while other games, they'll give you a story mode so you can bypass all signs of hard times. You know, journalism mode. You rip through the game in 20 minutes, no side missions, and then review it real quick, story mode. But as I wrap up this little rant, I do want to say that I understand that difficulty in games has been a touchy subject as of the last couple years, especially with the whole Elden Ring situation where people wish that game was more accessible. But I also want to acknowledge the fact that accessibility and difficulty aren't exactly always the same thing. You can make a game difficult but accessible with things like subtitles, button remapping, or even adaptive controllers, which arguably could do more for accessibilities rather than just making the game easier. So like any other obstacle in any other industry, insurmountable problems come for innovative solutions. And 2022 and 2021 was some of the most advanced years for accessibility in video gaming. Some of your favorite games that you and I play had accessibility options in them that you may not have even known of. Games like The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War Ragnarok had button remapping, color contrasting, subtitles of course, larger subtitles if needed, narration of any text in the game. So yeah, what do you think about the state of video games today and how easy or difficult they've gotten? What do you think of the difficulty versus accessibility? Whatever that is. Debate, argument, conversation, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And also, thank you guys for watching it. Thank you guys for anybody who reached this far. I am eternally grateful for you. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please watch another video. You know what I mean? Stay a while. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, anyways, I really enjoyed talking about this. I really enjoyed talking about this, and I really want to continue this conversation in the comments with whatever you guys have to say, along with any ideas on what makes a game more accessible, other than, you know, turning down the difficulty. So yeah, leaving the bread show. Why don't you watch another video? Give inspiration in all you do. Peace out, man.
Welcome to the Craze Show. Take 2.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, anyways.